Thank you for your interest or purchase of Ayodele's Waist Beads Makers Kit. So let's get into it. First, you'll find my thank you in ways you can share on social media, as well as the color chart and waist bead history and wear and care tips. Each kit comes with a choice of 3 different colors. Here are some sample colors I will be working with today. You'll also find a bead sorter that's very helpful when you're putting beads back and forth into your containers, as well as some affirmations and my business information on the back side to stay in contact with me. Now this bag includes your measuring tools, your string, your needle, all the very important components in creating your first waist bead. Now this is your bead mat, which is very helpful when you are preparing to make anything with beads. Now beads have a tendency to want to roll off of tables, and this is a great setting to start your project with. First, I am pulling out your sorting spoon. Very helpful in keeping your beads separated by color on your mat. Here is your collapsible bead needle. This is flexible and easy to use with multiple shapes and sizes of beads. Here is your measuring string. You do not need measuring tape. String works great. And your nylon beading cord, which you will thread on the needle to begin your project. Last but not least are your cowrie shells, which you can use to adorn your waist beads. So now that all your tools are accounted for, we are going to measure for your waist beads that will lie on your waist. You want to use the measuring string to wrap around your body where you want your beads to lie. So first stretch out the string, and then I want you to wrap it not from front to back, but from back to front. There you have a better eye view on where you want your beads to land and how they will sit around or about your navel, or if you want it lower on your waistline on your high hip. Use a marker to mark the distance around your waistline where you want your waist beads to end. Now we're going to use that measurement against your nylon beading cord to determine your length for your project. Now what's important is that you add 10 inches to whatever measurement that you end with for your waistline. The additional 5 inches in the front and 5 inches in the back of your waist bead will allow for tying room and space once you are ready to tie your beads on your body. Now I am aligning my cord with the beading string. I'm taking the cord and I'm traveling it to my marker point on the measuring string and then wrapping it back around to the beginning point. Once I have that measurement identified, I am going to add those extra 10 inches to the waist bead. Now you can gauge by eye the additional 10 inches that you need added to your measurement. Now after I add those 10 inches, I reset the string to allow for those extra 10 inches before I cut. Once I cut, this is my final measurement for my waist bead project. Now in your kit, the directions will illustrate the use of multiple threads for each waist bead. Multiple strands of cord threaded through the beads allows for preservation of your waist beads for lasting wear. To make multiple threads, simply take the cut edge of the string attached to the bobbin and match it to the edge of your measured string. Hold the tips of the cut edges as you glide the string back and forth to the opposite ends that loop. Complete 3 cycles until you have 3 loops on the opposite edge. Now cut through the center of the loops on the side with the previous cut tips. You should now have 6 complete cut edges on one side and 3 loops on the opposite end. Wrap each loop using your index finger to prepare to string through your collapsible needle. Your index finger should be placed at the center of your measured strings and used to split your string into 2 sides. Choose either side with 3 cut edges to string through the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle is pretty large, which allows for easy passage of the beading cord. Place all 3 tips through the eye of the needle at the same time. Once your thread is through the eye of the needle, you want to center the needle in the middle of your measured string. Once centered, both sides should meet at the same point. If you find that your ends are uneven, take a moment to shift the short and long cords until they meet at approximately the same length. Here, I'm using the contrast of the white string against my brown skin to show how I am meeting the ends to match at the same point. Now place a slip knot closest to the edge as possible to secure all edges of your beading cord and to prevent any beads from slipping off. Use a pair of scissors to cut the excess string and you are ready to start your project. So you may note that you now have 6 strings that will pass through the whole of your beads. Next, pour out the bead colors you want to use for your design. Each kit comes with the option of choosing from up to 14 different bead colors. Once all your beads are placed on the mat, you are ready to bead. For a quick pause, I will illustrate how I use my sorting spoon to separate and pick up my beads, as well as my sorting container with triangular edges, which allows for easy pickup and release back and forth into bags or containers. Now we are ready to bead. Now you want to simply take the edge of the needle and at an angle, approximately about a 15-degree angle, you want to point the edge of the needle towards the beads on the bead mat. Establish a design to repeat or choose your beads at random. Now with my bead spinner, your projects will move a little faster. So let's break down the components. You can decide if you want your bead spinner to spin left or right and how fast you want your bead spinner to spin. The kit also comes with 3 separate bowls for multiple projects and a USB cord to power your spinner. An added benefit is a rubber backing to prevent slippage. If you have ordered my Waist Beads Makers Kit, you already have 3 packs of beads to utilize in your bead spinner. You can also purchase the bundle kit, which includes the bead spinner and the Waist Beads Makers Kit. This will include up to 90 grams of beads that you can use for multiple bead projects. To begin using your bead spinner, just place your beads in the spinner. You can mix all 3 colors or multiple colors or start with 1 color at a time. Here, I'm showcasing the different directions as well as the different levels of speeds that your bead spinner can run. As a beginner, I would suggest a slower speed and graduate as you become more improved with your skill sets. Now to begin the beading process with your bead spinner, you want to point your needle at an angle into the spinner. Note that I'm placing the needle in the opposite direction that the beads are traveling. This allows for the beads to quickly circle around the needle until the needle's point finds passage through the center hole of the bead. Fill the needle up with as many beads as possible and then glide them down the string. If and when you are ready, you can switch bows and pour in a new set or color of beads. Once you have beaded a good length of beads, you may be ready to add your cowrie shell. Using your needle, direct the tip through the center of the cowrie shell. Then glide your shell down to the edge of your beads. You want to then create a slip knot at the tip of the cowrie shell. Wrap the string around the tip using your index finger and middle finger. Create a loop, pull the string through, and tighten to secure the shell next to your line of beads. Use your index finger to position the knot, and then tighten from both sides. And here's another quick illustration of how to use your triangular bead sorter, a very helpful tool placing your beads back and forth in your bag or wherever you choose to store your beads. Now I'm adding my last color for my design and going to quickly finish my waist bead with my electric bead spinner. I have placed my cowrie shell in the center and it looks perfect. Now fast forward, I have completed my waist bead and now cutting off the needle and placing a knot at the edge to secure my beads. Now remember those extra 10 inches? This is where it comes in handy. This allows for grip space when you're tying your waist beads on the body. So you want to travel from the back side to the front when tying your waist beads. You're going to find the exact measurement where you want your waist beads to land. Slide the excess beads to your knotted ends. To close the ends, make a double knot and pull tightly from both sides. At this point, make sure there are no beads intertwined in your knot and that there is no loose string separating any of your beads around your waist. For added security, pull one edge of your string from the back side and create a stopper knot. Make sure that knot is secured tightly on one side and repeat the same method on the opposite side. This is my DASK method, DASK, which stands for double and stopper knot. This will create a secure closure where the burning of the ends is not necessary. Now you're ready to close off your ends. Grab your scissors and cut a 1/4 inch off the knot. Only if you are skilled, close the ends off by burning the edges for a seamless look, and there you have it.